what lengths would you go to land your point in a talk at a marketing summit? I'll come back to those. The truth is, it can be hard to stand up here and talk about marketing with everything that's going on in the world. And yet, not to do so is to undermine the role and value of our craft and its ability to change minds and shape hearts. Sure, that's why we're all here. Whether you're a marketer or a business owner or somewhere in between, you may not feel that you individually have that great an impact. Whether you work in a small business, as part of a large team, or in a specialist area. But I assure you that the work you do matters. Because we all have a choice to make about what we promote and how we promote it. It comes down to what you can control, whatever it takes. Believe it or not, based on my accent, I grew up in the northeast of Scotland. And despite a school-age recommendation to pursue a vocation in community horticulture, which I sometimes wish I had, I was soon off to university and the heady heights of London's media and marketing scene, working for Microsoft and WPP group agencies, with global clients, and even getting to exhibit at the likes of the Cannes Festival of Creativity in the south of France and the Gadget Show Live in London's Excel Arena. Ooh. To say that was a culture shock for a country boy like me would be something of an understatement. And yet I was immediately hooked on the power this industry has. Ever since, working for brands large and small, from bases in Melbourne, Australia, to Leeds in the north of England, and finally coming back to Scotland, first Aberdeen and then the Highlands around 7 years ago, I've been compelled to consider how we can use the power of marketing as a force for good, to be thought leaders as individuals and on behalf of the businesses we represent, to inspire others, tell stories, and form shared opinions based on the truth, not spin. Fundamentally, to do well by doing good. In this era, where costs, time pressures, and the relentless pace of technological change are forcing us all to do more with less, I think that's more important than ever. So why have I bought potatoes to a marketing summit? Well, it's not because I spent 2 weeks last month in Disney and Mr. Potato Head came up quite a lot. You can ask me about that or form your own unkind comparisons later. It might be surprising, but my teenage years were spent not fostering customer relationships, but these guys, preparing the ground, planting them, nurturing them, and eventually harvesting and storing. And I couldn't think of a better analogy for good business growth than the humble potato. Sure, we all love a tatty, and I was absolutely decked that the restaurant through there is called Spuddies. Did you know that potatoes produce per unit of water more food than any other major crop? Or that per hectare, potatoes produce 2 to 4 times more food than any major grain? That's efficiency by nature. And I think we can be inspired by it. I want to show you that your marketing can still be effective, even in the face of lower resources and higher demands. Again, it comes down to what you can control. And while you can't control everything about the context your business operates, whether it's changes in the market, new players entering the game, or even changes in customer preferences, you can change how you respond to it. The first lesson is to treat your customer context like a good farmer tends to their field. You need to take your customer data, the information you have about them, how they interact with your marketing channels and sales teams, their purchase history, and combine it all in a CRM or customer relationship management system. You've all got one of those, right? I won't ask for a show of hands in case your boss is watching, even if you're your own boss. The important thing to note is that whether your CRM system is a spreadsheet or with the plethora of digital tools like HubSpot offering free plans, there's really no excuse not to go digital. But if you can harness all of that data and use it to power your marketing efforts, you'll be able to generate not just customers in the current season, harvesting those who are ready to buy right now, but develop a system to produce good fit new customers sustainably for years to come. Sounds simple, right? Well, there's three main principles to this nature-inspired growth that I want to share with you today. Less waste, more planning, and better systems. Let's look at each in turn. I'm deeply concerned about waste. It is everywhere. It's in the clothes we wear, the food we eat, and it's in our marketing. Those of you who, like me, grew up in the advertising side of our industry may be familiar with a quote often attributed to US retailer John Wanamaker. I know half the money I spend on advertising is wasted. The trouble is, I don't know which half. But, just like promotion is only one of the OG 4 Ps of marketing, so too is that waste not only present in our paid media campaigns, but can be seen across our websites, our blogs, and our social media channels. I'm sure we've all been in situations where we've been forced to rush a campaign out the door, or perhaps encouraged to create content just for the sake of creating content. But I believe we have a responsibility as marketers, or the marketers within us, to ask, are we part of the problem or part of the solution? Could we not, as permaculture principles predict, perhaps get more out by putting less in? By being more intentional with the words we write, the videos and audio we create? Do we not stand a better chance of cutting through and resonating with our target market? What about AI? Is that temptation becoming stronger? Show of hands this time. Who's tried using AI tools for content creation? Quite a number. And keep your hands up if you like the output initially. A couple. Good. I'm not going to talk about this much today, and undoubtedly AI has a big role to play in our future, but a lot of the ways I'm seeing it used right now at best may not be helping your cause, whether that's to show up more prolifically in search engines or increase your engagement on Instagram, and at best it may be damaging your brand's long-term reputation as people consuming media on these platforms cotton on and switch off and stop picking up what you're putting down. Okay, so you understand waste is bad. It's bad for the planet, it's bad for your business. Sometimes doing more with less comes down to doing less overall, but doing more of the right things. And that's the case with planning. Just as a good farmer will plan their crops in terms of crop rotation and look after their soil by increasingly regenerative methods like cover crops or companion planting, so too must the marketer within us plan ahead to be as efficient as possible and get the most from our marketing activities. You know this, but sometimes it's hard to take that step back and invest the time required. So I've got one model I want to share with you that I use for my businesses and marketing clients and have for a long time. It's called the 4 Cs. Very simply, customers, competitors, channels, and content. And again, I urge you that this can't be surface level work. You need to dig deep and truly understand who your customers are, not just today, but who you'd like them to be in the future. With that understanding, your relevant competitive set will be defined, from whom you have to differentiate, of course, but from whom you may also have plenty to learn. Armed with that knowledge, the channels most likely to reach your target audience will become clear, and the content that's most likely to resonate will come to the fore. I urge you to spend time here as much as you can to avoid the jaws of short-termism and the waste that usually results. Finally, I want to touch on better systems. And just as our digital networks are becoming overloaded with more content than humankind could ever consume, damaging our mental health and productivity, we can see the same in nature with our extractive food systems, risking our physical health and ability to feed future generations. Again, just as marketers are learning to use less fertilizer and pesticide and work with the soil and natural systems to improve their crop, so must we marketers, or the marketers within us, learn to design better systems to be more efficient and effective in our communications. I've got one more model to share with you, just 2 Ds this time: discovery and distribution. Very simply, discovery is about showing up when people are looking for whatever it is that you do and being found. Many businesses still struggle with this, so if that's you, you're absolutely not alone. And a lot of the old school techniques here still work. We've got people through the house talking SEO, and it's still relevant. Helpful content, expertise, authority, trustworthiness. They're going to help you show up, whether it's in traditional search engines or increasingly AI, large language models. And distribution is about seeding your content. Again, not doing more, but doing it in a targeted way, as Davey said earlier, to the people who are most likely to pick it up. Consider this. You could create 10 guides and 10 posts to promote each one, or, armed with the knowledge from your earlier research, you could create the one guide that you know is most likely to resonate with your audience in the here and now. Based on the content of that guide, you could create 10 posts to promote it, creating carousels, creative videos, and consolidated copy all around that one topic. With the time you've saved from not creating 10 guides and 100 posts, could you not make that one guide even more effective and even more likely to cut through and eliminate the wasted impressions so often associated with our marketing work? A small prompt: if you're at all unsure that your current systems are helping you save time and money, or perhaps quite the opposite, I've linked a tool in your digital workbooks called the Ad Waste Detector. It's a short quiz that will help you think through where you are now and potentially some steps to improve. Let's head back to the farm. If you can embrace these 3 principles of nature-inspired growth: less waste, more planning, and better systems, you'll be setting yourself up for sustainable customer generation for years to come. That's good business growth, inspired by nature. And I think that's something we can all aspire to, whatever it takes. I hope you can take 1 or 2 things away from this in less time than it would have taken to boil these bad boys. Thank you.
I've changed, by the way, it's not just you.